Hello guys and welcome to Hello Python series, and today we're going to be looking at how to download our Anaconda tool that we're going to be using throughout the series. Anaconda tool is actually a data science tool which we're going to be using, and this is how we're actually going to download it. So open any browser of your choice, and in the search button type in Anaconda Navigator. When you do type in Anaconda Navigator, this is what you should get. So when we scroll down to where you can find individual edition of Anaconda under the www.anaconda.com website, which is the actual website for Anaconda. So when I click on individual edition Anaconda, waiting for it to open up. Just give it a minute, and as it opens up you can see your data science toolkit. So it's basically a data science toolkit, and we want to download this toolkit, right? So I hit the download button, which should take me all the way down to the bottom, and based on your machine, whether it's Windows, Mac or Linux, you have your variety here with Anaconda 3.7 pre-installed in it. So you don't need to download Python again after installing Anaconda. It comes pre-built in it. And for your Windows size, either 64-bit or 32-bit, you can actually download and use it. So I'm using 64-bit installer. If you want, you can check what version machine you have and then you download the appropriate one. I'm using the 64-bit, so I downloaded the 64-bit installer, and I have it right here on my desktop. So let's try and install, but I'm not going to install it fully because I already have mine running set up with all my packages, and I don't want to mess up any configurations I've done. So I'll take it as far as I can, and then I'll finish up the rest word of mouth, yeah. All right, so once we have the software downloaded, we can double click that to run it. Depending on how fast your machine is, you can get it running faster. Mine is quite slow, so bear with me. Okay, so as you can see, it's actually setting up and loading, so we have to wait for that to finish up. So also waiting for the setup to finish loading. Basically this is the end result we are looking for. So when you have everything set up, I'm expecting your interface to look similar to this. Basically, most of the install buttons, most of the launch buttons will actually be installed, because some you have to manually install some of the packages or some of the softwares in this package or in this toolkit before you can actually start using them. I think Visual Code, you might have to download it. Our Studio, you might have to download it, and a couple of other ones you might have to download. Some are built in, so you get them right out of the box. And yeah, I think it should be done by now, so we can start working. Yeah, so just waiting for the setup to boot up, then we can manually start working. Okay, so we have the setup right here, and it says welcome to Anaconda 3 2009.10 64-bit setup, and I go to next. And it's giving me a license agreement, so I agree. And normally, just for me, it's recommended, but I would actually suggest you to go for all users. And then we go to next. Am I running two setups at the same time? Yep, I think we're running two setups at the same time, so I'm gonna close the redundant one so we can focus. Yes, I do want to quit. So whilst we wait for the installation type to finish up, now it asks me, do I want to allow this app to make changes to my device? Actually, for me, I'm gonna say no. The rest is basically defaults until you get to system environment path. It's gonna ask you, should I add this to your path? And it's gonna say, when you read it, it's gonna say it's not recommended. I would recommend you to add it to the path, because it's really helpful that you do it from the beginning, because having to set it up manually can sometimes be a pain. So from this stage, you should find a box that is unticked, which says you add Anaconda to path. It's stated it's not recommended, but I do recommend you do add it, because you will need it working on these projects, right? So I'm not gonna, because I don't know how far this effect is gonna have on my machine, because I have everything set up already. So I'm gonna say no. But basically, that's how you download it. And the two main things are the installation for, which I said install for all users, and then moving forward, you should see should it add it to path? Say yes. Even though it says it's not recommended, please do add it to your path, so it makes your work easier. And then everything else should be default by then. Then it should actually start running. It should actually start setting up. And when it's done and you run it, you get this interface, right? So when you do open the application, this is what you first see. And like I said, some of the launch buttons here on some of the applications or some of the softwares are going to be installed. So you need to install it, and you do need internet connection to install it. And we have something we call environments, right? So this interface here is our Anaconda environment, and this is the base root environment. And as we move on, we're going to have to set up unique environments. I have mine here, which is TensorFlow and computer vision, OpenCV. And these are my environments I have here. So in each environment, I'm able to store a package, right? So we're just going through the Anaconda Navigator, the application, to see how things actually work. So as you can see, applications on base root. So these are the applications in this environment, which is our base root. So if I should switch environments, you can switch environments from here. Let's just do that from here. I think I've had it running for quite some time, so changing it might be a problem though. But if it does work, we'll see that. So I'm trying to change it to the TensorFlow environment, and I'm expecting some scripts to run up from my command prompt quickly as possible. If it doesn't, it means I've had it open for too long. I don't know why it does that sometimes, but yeah, so you can switch between environments from here, and you can also do that using command prompt. So if you have your Anaconda installed, you can also check it from command prompt. So I just typed in the Windows key with the Windows icon on it plus R, right, which opened the run, and I just typed in CMD to open up command prompt. And this is opening up my command prompt, and I want to see if Anaconda is actually installed. And like I said, it's installed on a separate environment, and Python is also stored in the Anaconda environment, so I shouldn't find it in any of my running environments, right? So to verify that Python has actually been installed on the machine in its specified environment, I just type in Python, right? Python, and hit enter. Let's zoom into this a bit if I can. Okay, so what does it say? It says Python 3.7 by default on this date, 64 bits, Anaconda int is on Windows 33, which is our programs data, which is a folder in our machine. Now what is the warning sign we're getting here? It's saying this Python interpreter is in a Conda environment, which is our Anaconda, which uses Conda packages to do most of its instructions, changing environments, downloading new modules or libraries. We use the Conda command because we're in Anaconda. Basic Python would have used pip, and even in Anaconda we do use pip. So you can manipulate between the two. Higher packages use Conda, lesser packages use pip, right? So we're saying that this Python interpreter is not in Conda environments, but the environment has not been activated. Libraries failed to load. To activate this environment, we don't check the website, right? So basically, I have my interactive Python here, so I can use it. Even though I'm not in the right environment, I can do my basic calculations here, 2 plus 2, 4, everything. And when I'm done, I can just quickly exit that. Now, to make sure that we are in the right environment and we don't get the warning again to tell us that we are not running in the right environment. If you have your environment running, I told you that we're going to use the Conda package for almost everything, this Conda right here. So I want to enter my environment, right? And remember when we looked at it, it was base root, right? Our environment we were in initially was base root. And the one I'm trying to enter, which is taking forever, what happens sometimes is the TensorFlow environment. So instead of waiting for it to load up using the graphical user interface way, which is this, As you can see, it's still loading for a while now, which I should have done quickly earlier on. I haven't even seen my CMD scripts running up to show that something is loading. So I want to run it using my command prompt, and then let's see what happens. So we can do that by typing conda. Then we say activate. And based on what your environment's name is called, you should know, you activate it. So the first one we looked at was base, right? So activates base, and let's see what happens. Waiting for that to run. I hope it's not going to conflict. Okay, so as you can see, I activated base environment, which holds all these packages here, and my command prompt. And as you can see, before we activated the base, this was our path. This is our system path. But now our base has been put in brackets behind our path to tell us that now we are working within this environment. So we have activated our base environment in our Anaconda. So if I should type in Python right now, we will not get the warning we got before. As you can see, it just tells us that Python 3.7, 64-bit Anaconda inside your folder Win32. And we don't get the warning sign. It means we are inside our environment now. We're inside our Conda environment, right? So how do I navigate to other environments? I'm in my base environment. I want to go out of my environment and probably just exit. I'm done with everything. We can just say conda deactivate. Right? So when we run that, it should deactivate. And remember, and as you can see, the base, which was here, is no longer there. It means we're out of that environment. So I want to go into my TensorFlow environment. So basically, I'm going to use the same code as I used for base, which is conda activate, and instead of base, I'm going to say TensorFlow underscore env, enter. And that should move us into our TensorFlow environment, right? And as you can see, I have my warnings. I have a whole lot of information coming out before it actually runs. But as you can see down here, I have my TensorFlow environment running within my system now. So I'm in the right environment for my Python interpreter, right? So when I type in Python here too, basically we don't get any warning. It means we're actually on the right path. Okay, so this is how we download Anaconda, install it, verify it, go through the packages. Actually, we haven't gone through the packages, but we've gone through how to switch to different environments. Now let's see the packages within each environment. If I can open it here. I'd love to show you the packages within each environment. So yeah, so as you can see up here, it says search environments, and we have our base root, we have our TensorFlow, I have two TensorFlow environments running, and my OpenCV, right? And as you can see, we have a play button, which means I'm trying to actually play this environment at this point in time. So I want to switch it back to my base root. Yeah, the package here is giving me a bit of a problem switching through my environments. Like I said, it does that sometimes, but we can just brisk through, and we can see that this has our installed packages. So basically what we're looking at here, my packages that I have installed, and it gives the description here. It tells you the name, it gives the description, and I can search for what package I'm looking for right here. So if you have a package that you don't have on your machine and you want to install it, you can basically just come into the environment you want to store the package in, click right here. You can go to your not installed, search for the package you're looking for, then install it, right? So these are packages that I haven't installed yet. So if I know the specific package or module I'm looking for, I can type it in my search box and it will bring it out and I can download it right from here. So these are my not installed. I can see my installed, and then it also gives you the options for updatables. So these are my updatables that need to be updated, which I should get to. So yeah, and it also has a learning phase which can also help you go through Anaconda. It gives you more documentation phase of it. And it also has Anaconda also has its own community. You can actually meet other data scientists, link up, share information, broaden your scope, and it's a really good read. So on the learning phase, it has documentation, training. It doesn't have any videos though. It has documentations and training, so you can quickly read through all of it, starting from Python tutorials, Anaconda, documentations, Panda, NumPy, which are very powerful tools, Spice, Matplotlib, and I really advise you to read them because we'll use them when we go into the data science aspect of Python, and these are very powerful tools. It's good to get to understand, at least get a fair sense of what it's about before we get to use it, and then we actually go in depth into it. So basically that's everything about Anaconda Navigator. That should really get you set up and moving. If you have any problems, you can leave it in the text description below. I'll see if I can help you with it to the best of my abilities. Like, subscribe, enjoy the series, and please guys, again, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.